Hey friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Aurora. If you are new here, please click the subscribe button so you can be a part of the crew whenever I upload new videos regarding manifestation and embodiment. Today I am going to give you guys a in-depth, step-by-step, behind-the-scenes insight on how I manifested my very first apartment, which I'm sitting in right now, using the law of assumptions. So stay tuned and take notes. So I took notes and I compiled this method into a 4-step method that I call the assume, affirm, align, and attract method. So I basically got this method from just a conglomerate of all the steps that I saw myself experience while manifesting my apartment, while using the law of assumption. And I'll basically give you a little bit of backstory about what happened before manifesting my apartment. So I am from Atlanta and I was living in Atlanta all my life, living with my mom, got kicked out during the pandemic, really bad. I moved into a little rooming situation, and after that I didn't feel comfortable, so I ended up moving in with my boyfriend at the time. The boyfriend experience got really toxic really quick, so I was like, okay, I need to figure something out, and ASAP. I took a trip with my mom to Dallas. My mom, my little sister, and my best friend at the time, we took a trip to Dallas, and I was just like, I literally can see myself living here. So that's pretty much when the camera cut out, but yeah, the light bulb snapped on for me basically. As soon as I touched down in Atlanta, I was like, all right, let me figure something out. So basically that's when I learned about the law of assumption, and I started learning first about the law of attraction, but then I learned about law of assumption through Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel, those type of people, and I started taking notes. And then what I took from it, all of like the teaching of the law of assumption, was that you just need to believe that something can happen for you, and it will. And it has a lot to do with your willpower as well as your certainty and your inner power, the God within you. So during that time, you guys, like, it was really big, like, spiritual awakening for me. Like, I had not been introduced so deeply within myself to the power within me that Neville Goddard was talking about, or that Abraham Hicks was talking about. So I was really just kind of like coming to a sense of beingness within my godliness to even feel worthy of manifesting what I was manifesting. I had manifested things before, such as a 2019 Nissan, and I was like really grateful for that, but we'll talk about that in a second, because I basically just put all my eggs in one basket, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a risk, I'm gonna manifest this space in Texas. So what I did was get in my car and I drove 11 hours to Atlanta randomly one day, and I was just like, I'm ready for my new life. So I drove 11 hours from Atlanta to Houston, Texas, and by the time I got to Texas, I was really just like, all right, what we finna do? I literally, y'all, I got a job like within the first 2 days, and I worked there, and I was like, this ain't it. And I just did not go back. Not because I'm a lazy bitch, but I was just like, I can't do something else. Like, it was like a sales rep job, like working at Walmart and like having to like get people to sign stuff like that. I was just like, I'm not for it. So I don't know, maybe a week had passed by. I was living in hotels, and it was just like not going the way I had planned for it. And this is where my faith was getting tested, and I was just like, God, I don't know why I'm here. I feel like I should just go back home. And I kind of battled with myself a lot, and I just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back home. I can't do it. Like, I'm not gonna be like homeless in my car trying to figure it out. So I got back in my car after a week of being in Houston, and I was about to drive back to Atlanta one morning. And that morning, y'all, the weather just randomly got bad. A fucking hurricane was passing through Louisiana, and there was rain on the road, and I got into a 6-car pileup. And so after that happened, my car was totaled. Everything that I owned that was in that car was completely just, you know, I had to give it up. So from there, I had to live in a homeless shelter. So basically, the whole manifestation thing did not start coming to play, like me actualizing my reality did not start coming into play until I got grounded in a space where I had to start doing the work, which was releasing the identity that I had to my past narrative. There was a reason that I was not allowed to go back to Atlanta, because me taking that leap of faith and choosing a new reality was basically my pact with God. Like, I choose this new life. And so that car accident, I know now, was so divine, because I know for a fact Atlanta was not supposed to be my home, but I was moving out of fear after taking the leap of faith, and I was just trying to do what was comfortable and familiar and go back home. But I'm so grateful, even though it was a fucked up experience, that I wasn't hurt from the accident, and that I was able to just recover from it mentally. But basically, I started to use the assumption method and use the law of assumption in my daily life. And so I would use the scripting method, which was what stood out the most to me, because I love journaling already. I'm a journaler. I have 12 of these sitting on my freaking nightstand right now, because I love writing, and I have a different journal for everything. So when I learned about scripting is basically when you are writing as if your ideal experience or what you are manifesting is happening in the present moment. You're basically writing about the experience down to the detail, about how you're feeling, what your surroundings are like, who you're talking to, And I started using the scripting method pretty often. I actually have my scripting journal somewhere, girl. But I pretty much put how I wanted my apartment to look, how it felt waking up in my apartment, what my scenery outside my window looked like. I wrote about the design, the interior design of my home, and just the weather, how beautiful Texas is when I stand on my balcony. I really got clear on how I wanted to feel in that experience. And the reason that you want to do that while scripting is so that your body can assimilate an emotion with an experience, so that your mind starts to open up to the reality that that reality is possible for you. And so scripting definitely worked in my favor, in tandem with affirmations. And I feel like affirmations, the way that I applied my affirmations was how a lot of people also do it. I did mirror work, and I don't know, affirmations in the mirror didn't exceptionally help me, but I will say that when I stumbled upon subliminals, man, I became so obsessed, and I even started making subliminals of my own, and I'm actually going to tag my channel below. Just have to do a little free promo, but I love subliminals, and I even love the other creators that I found while along my journey, because there was a lot of healing to be done in the midst of manifesting, so I had to do a lot of self-concept work and move through that. So the first part of assuming that the house was already mine was just doing that mindset work, and taking that leap of faith really was the assumption. And then affirmations was doing the mindset work, doing the shadow work, saying my affirmations, scripting. I really just tried to help myself embody the version of myself that was living in the reality of being in my home. Simply that. I tried a lot of other methods too, like the stats method and visualization, meditation, but I truly feel like affirmations and scripting are what worked the best for me, because living as if just became so easy. I started to integrate into the mentality that these things have already happened, therefore there's no need to place doubt in them coming to fruition, because in my mind, it's a memory that I've already scanned over a million times, so I'm not having doubt about if it's going to come to pass. My mind has already accepted that it did. Therefore, in divine mind, all creation is finished. I had nothing to worry about besides allowing I'm sounding like the people that be teaching, but literally every man is a link in the chain of my infinite good. And I remembered that affirmation every day, and I still say that because every person is a reflection of you. So if I want the best for me, I know you want the best for me. You feel me? And you come into alignment, which is the next step after affirming. Coming into alignment with that version of yourself is you simply embodying a sense of self that knows thyself, that knows your power to manifest the things that you have set intentions to receive and have accepted into your mind's eye, your imagination, and yeah. So alignment basically is acting as if. So I would pretty much say I was living in that shelter for about 12 months. While I was there living, I was at the shelter in Houston, living there for about 3 months. While I was at the Houston shelter, I applied for a program that would basically be paying for my rent in Houston or in Dallas. I applied for the Dallas one because I knew I was going to move to Dallas, so they would be paying for my rent for up to a year. And I applied for it because I was like, just in case I get the chance to move to Dallas, I hope that that works out. So just a lot of leaps of faith, y'all. Like, I was just being so optimistic, and I feel like if it wasn't for the law of assumption, I wouldn't have had such a I don't know, like such a free-spirited but risky, but like also like not really caring, like I don't know, not having a plan but having a goal for sure. Like I had to make plans like every step of the way in that moment, making decisions after decisions so that I could be in alignment with my highest good. But scripting did allow me to stay in alignment because I was like, I already wrote the script, I already wrote the storyline. All I got to do is follow the energy path that is in alignment with the version of myself who is in that experience of being in their own home.
Right. I don't give a damn. I just needed the platform. Right. I had the plan. Right. I know how to get out the deal. Right.
So I was just like, whatever I got to do to get home, I'm going home. So I got on the Greyhound to go to Dallas to come to Dallas, and I was at another shelter for about 6 months. I was really over it. At a point in time, I kind of gave up manifesting because I got really depressed. And that just has a lot to do with like your self-concept, working on your mental health, not stressing yourself out about manifesting. Like, things are going to happen in a divine time. So sometimes you got to just take a step back and detach from the outcome and just allow yourself to go through the motions, which is something that I had to learn big time. But after I really just got a hold of like my limiting beliefs, and I had to like do a lot of shadow work and a lot of karmic work, which was a lot of the reason why I'm even into this manifestation stuff now, because I've gotten so deep into my sense of self. But I just had to change my perspective on life and align more so with God, the God within me. And I got through so many scary situations that I felt like I should have died in, but I didn't. So it was just like the divinity and the divine alignment was definitely aligning. Therefore, I have to speak on my testimony because it's just too like grandiose not to share. So anyway, the last 2 months of me living in the shelter, I was pretty much just like not dissociated at all, but I was just kind of like, I had eliminated all doubt, and I was in a really great space mentally. I got the call that I got approved for the program that I had applied to like literally almost a year earlier. This was in February this year, and I applied in February of 2022. So I got the approval in February of 2023, and I was just like, dude, like, I was so happy, but I also had imagined myself being approved a million times in my head. I was just like, all right, yeah, like, let me go ahead and choose my apartment. I made a list way before I had gotten approved of what apartment I wanted to live in because, based on the amenities that I had scripted about, found the perfect apartment in the perfect area, perfect location for transport. It's just so easy, like, it was just so easy to just imagine my good, and it all came into fruition in the most divine way. And I'm like, I know I wasn't the only one who had a hand in this. Like, God really be working miracles. But then you think the God is within you, so like you did build this technically. It's just so beautiful to see. Even as I look out my window all the time, I'm like, I literally scripted about this. But that was pretty much that. So I even before I got this apartment, I knew it was the one that I wanted. I just wasn't sure how I was going to afford it before I had got approved for the program. So I even had come and like got a tour, and I was just like, yeah, like I feel like I live here already. So I went home, I prayed, and I was like, if this is the space for me, I give gratitude in advance, and I'm just grateful to have my own home. And I pretty much just gave it to God. And you know, the alignment is you just being in a place where you see your ideal reality right in front of you, and you just accept that it is the truth and it is your reality, and detach from it, because I feel like attachments is also what causes a lot of blockages and delays, because you're expecting an outcome that is not for your highest good. So that was the attraction part. I pretty much had to detach and allow it to come in the most divine way. And I feel like, all in all, I'm really grateful that I had the experience to be able to rest. I even scripted that my rent was going to be free. I didn't know how, because I kind of had gave up on the program. I thought that I would get approved in like at least 3 to 5 months, but a whole year had went by, and I was like, fuck it. I guess the waiting list is like very full. But being able to rest for a year and being able to just like continue to evolve into the version of myself that I know I am destined to be, while also sharing more of my personal experiences while manifesting that life for myself, is going to be really fun, because this has been one of my biggest manifestations to date. So I would like to keep this as a manifestation diary, just to inspire others, just to give my own personal wisdom, experiences, little testimonies, or you know, anything that I want to share, or anything that you guys want to chat about. I think would be really cool. So I just wanted to give you guys that 4-step method that I used, assuming that it was already mine, scripting about it, affirming that it was mine. Affirming also had to do with removing limiting beliefs from my past and doing shadow work so that I could come into alignment with that version of myself. And coming into alignment was also embodying that version of myself that had detached from my past, and just accepting my reality as the one that I had imagined for myself, and then detaching from the outcome by just enjoying the present moment as much as I could, and then attracting it by being in the vibration of gratitude with what I wanted. And that's pretty much it. Like, I wanted manifestation to be as easy as it possibly could for me, and it is for everybody. And I think as long as we just stay in the mindset of knowing that we are our own creators, then literally anything and everything can be born. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what other topics you want to hear about regarding manifestation. I'm also going to be chatting about a whole lot of other stuff, so please stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to my channel. And that's it. Goodbye. Love you.